these people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Good afternoon. All right, the first story for today is from Kwara State. The Kwara State Police Command is investigating the mysterious disappearance of the umbilical cord and placenta of Mrs. Williams, CBA's newborn at Government College Hospital in Lofia, OK-Erol LGA. 5 health workers, including nurses and a doctor, are being detained for interrogation. Mrs. Williams recounted arriving at the hospital in a labor, being attended by several nurses and a doctor, and delivering the baby. The umbilical cord and the placenta were placed in a nylon bag. Despite effort to find them, including searching a nearby refuse pit, the hospital staff claimed the placenta was displaced or possibly eaten by a dog. Suspicious and dissatisfied with the response, Mrs. Williams reported the incident to the police, leading to the ongoing investigation. Her father emphasized the need for a thorough investigation to uncover the truth and ensure justice. Well, first of all, we'll say congratulations to Mrs. Williams for this, her safe delivery. But again, you know that placenta is something that some families do not joke with it. And there are some few health centers that have given an instruction. The moment someone put to bed, you should give them their placenta. They do what they want to do with it. And then they can also equally instruct them, give them directive. Don't give this placenta to anybody. I mean, placenta is not something that should disappear or as long as they wanted it, because they place it in a nylon bag. What do you think about it? Do you think there's an uncovered truth somewhere that needs to be told? Because the nurses cannot give.
Point where you kept it. So the first person who delivered the baby, the mother of the baby, who were the nurses around in the theater or wherever, this is, I don't think it's a very complex investigation. So where did you drop the umbilical cord and who picked it from you? And the person that picked it from you, come on, tell us, where did you keep it? So I'm sure now what they are thinking is probably the other mystic application of the umbilical cord. Probably they will now use it to convert it.
These issues has gotten to police station. Don't you think it will affect the bees healthy? And of course, let's believe that as long as investigation is ongoing, that they will come up with something tangible. And then the second story for today is on education. Dr. Dorothy Jane Tillman II, and Chicago-based teenager, achieved a remarkable milestone by earning her doctorate from Arizona State ASU at age 17. Tillman, who started college at 10 years, completed a Master of Science in 2020 and joined AUS dissertation and received a doctoral degree in integrated behavioral health from ASU's College of Health Solution, celebrated during ASU's spring commencement in May 2024. Tillman attributed her success to her grandmother's guide and her parents' advice. Tillman plans to focus on her goal, public speaking, and her Dorothy Genius STEM Leaders Institute,
which has allowed that the basic education for any person is 9. That is what we noticed. The former minister of it was gazetted. Former minister of education, Obieze Kwesili. She brought it into force, right? She midwifed it. So we have 9 years in basic. These 9 years, so we now have 9, 3, 4. 9 years in basic, 3 years in senior secondary, and 4 years in the tertiary or university.
We have 9, 3, 4. 3, 3, 4.
You see, the Nigerian thing, I'm just telling you the document we have as an educationist.
Okay.
So, you know, now, there was a time they were to remove these issues, that the contemplation is that for you to say that you are literate in Nigeria, or for you to even say you might not go further, you must have attained basic 9, which in other words called JSS3. That is year 3 in secondary school. That is a contemplation of the UBEC policy. But at which point these other men are turning it is what I do not understand. Right? Like, if you are saying that the minimum age limit is 16 for you to be admitted to 18 for you to be admitted into tertiary. This person right now is 13, and he can use. You know, we are not talking about digital pedagogy, where we are talking about teachers being able to use digital tools to transmit knowledge. Now, these persons are digital citizens who are writing it. So what environment are you defining for this person, who you want? So these are the questions we need to ask Mr. Minister. And considering what is also happening, like this other scenario, you read that here about the lady who got a PhD at age 17. That too shows you how...
At the age of 18. 17.
That is also show you how flexible education is run in other countries, right? Here is cast on stone, like novel idea. If you want to go into a novel area of research, right? Even when you bring out the outcome, it is queried. Probably we also know the background from where we are coming from, that we do not do proper investigation. Otherwise, if somebody goes into research and comes out with an outcome, you only need to ask the person how you arrived at that outcome. If the person used the wrong approaches, you may now disband it, right? Okay. You may now say, okay, you may need to go back and do a fresh investigation based on the approaches you adopted. You might not exactly arrive at this. But even when the person used the appropriate investigation method, we still talk about it should have been like this, it should have been like that, meaning that you've already taken a position before the outcome, and it's wrong. You can see this lady now, you know, it might not necessarily be. Those days you will go gather data and you begin to do a manual compilation. Later on, you now begin to do a manual computation. And that will take you like months and years. But now you have a digital approach. And how many of these supervisors are digital savvy? Can they cope with the computer age? Mocha. Because they expect her to stay there until she gets a gray hair or all of that.
But Dr. Weke, I mean, a child at age 10, in university, don't you think that that is too much for her capacity? It
depends on what the child wants to cope with. These people are more organized human beings, permit me to say. If a child, you've seen a kind of talent in this particular child, you want to quickly go and start studying. The person that you have found the talent of this child. I know a child that can draw, right? Any other thing doesn't occur to this child. Yeah, I want to be jack of all trades. Are you get what I'm saying? We want to show. Here in Nigeria, everybody knows everything. Oh. Everybody here is professor. You don't know Nigerians. We know everything. And that is what is bringing us back. If you see a child that is doing well, why not allow the child run? It's not as if the child is rigmarolling. The child is not truant in his thoughts. You are seeing that this person has a direction in life. Why not allow the person go?
So are you saying if in Nigeria, despite what the Minister of Education, Tamaman, said, are you saying that if you see a child that is very smart, very brilliant, that you know that the capacity...
But the child needs egg. The difference between you and the child is age. If you want to eat egg, you eat egg. But this child wants egg. You said it's the thief that in your age, you never ask for egg. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the same thing that I bring into education. You see very exceptionally talented people that have got all the publications, everything. They will tell you a residency in universities before probably become a senior lecturer or a professor. In some places, they will tell you that your age, how old is your PhD for you to become a professor?
Wow.
Are you get what I'm saying? So the old people are just there. drawing us back. They're not achieving anything. Sorry, please, my learned profs and senior colleagues. Are you get what I'm saying? Look at, is it not professors that
they're
are
actually achieving things, something?
No,
right?
we are not. Isn't it a professor that can organize the 2023 election? Do you know the mileage? Do you know the economic implications of that elections in Nigeria economy?
Need to answer, including
please,
you.
all of us,
Nigerians
we
will continue to believe, because we believe that an elder sees better.
We are not saying no.
No say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shout beer na house suppose pay that one. You remember say me I tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy na.
Ogene, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. Get ready as Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024
at La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Room Calabo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Hackett. On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. Inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama comic. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8677.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Hackett, Lesuka Event Center, 8 Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's
He stated that blessings are for everyone and cannot be restricted. In a conversation with Noah O'Donnell, Pope reinstated that homosexuality is not a crime and emphasized the church openness to all people. Pope Francis condemned anti-gay law and highlighted his effort to make the Catholic Church more inclusive. Dr. Weke, it is good that we have come back to this particular story. In December 18, 2023, the Vatican said in a landmark ruling approved by Pope Francis that Roman Catholic priests can administer blessings to same-sex couples, as accusing the church of backtrack. Now he's saying that the Catholic priest can, he didn't say that should bless same-sex marriage as marriage, like you cannot bless it as the union as marriage, but they can bless individuals. And I'm wondering, is it that if these two individuals come, that they want to get married, like we are talking about LGBTQ now, the priest will say, Mr. A, come in, I bless you. And then you go out, Mr. B.
To talk about the most holy father, the Pope, the icon of sainthood, holiness and righteousness. So it's not, and he represents one of the largest religious group in the world, the Catholics.
Okay.
We think that Pope should, his guiding path should be the Bible.
Okay, so let me clear you on this. The Pope has the right to take decision. You understand? is more like a founder of one of these Pentecostal church. You can decide to ask them, how do you see this? Do you understand? But at the same time, he can single-handedly decide on what should happen. So the Pope has all the rights to decide. That was why even when bishops, they came out to say, no, you cannot do this, he said, this is what it is.
No, what
so I'm clearing you on that.
trying to say, I want to give it to Pope on his own part.
All right.
But on my own axis, I am also a Christian. And Pope is, I don't know, is he a Christian or a Catholic? Is it the same thing? I don't know. But it seems like we are side of it, where St. Paul was talking to the people, I think in Corinthians also, that he was warning against same-sex. Do you understand? Homogeneous sex, you know, he warned against it. That such people who do things that are not convenient to a human. You get what I'm saying? And again, let me also defend it as an African. It's a taboo. It's a taboo to hold a fellow man in a manner that you should hold a woman. I'm free not to support because, one, I'm an African and it's against my own culture. Two, I'm a Christian. It's also against the Bible, the way I understand my own Bible. Okay. So for Pope to take that position, I do not think he's taking that position for the entire Catholics. And if he continues to allow same-sex marriage, if he continues to bless them in any guise, so Pope used subterfuge. Subterfuge is that tricky words. He said he bless individuals. He bless individuals. Why bless these individuals? Why not you go to the street and bless people, since blessings is for everybody? So these persons came for an occasion, the occasion that was tagged marriage. And whether or not you bless two of them at the same time, or you devise a method of you confess, the other person come, you have blessed. But at some point, because of this gay issue, the Anglicans separated. So I'm sure he is not going to cause crisis. We expect that Pope will say that it's his independent, personal position. Are you getting me? Based on what he has learned or believes, and not to begin to advocate man-to-man marriage. Any priest can bless them. I'm sure the cardinals, the bishops in Africa will not accept that. I believe it. I know, what do you call it, a reverend father that would not even want to associate with people who want, and okay, I'm just telling you
of course,
because personal relationship.
When you actually talked about this same-sex marriage sometimes, some months ago, a lot of cardinals in Nigeria were actually against it. They said that cannot happen, and which Pope came up to say that when decision is taken, it cannot favor everybody. So that after they will come to understand, and then he's coming to give us another one that you can bless individuals as union, not individuals as marriage. So it's a big complication. It will not cause
in
disunity.
Pope's village, men can marry now. Okay. He can bless them individually now.
Okay.
In Pope,
in his village.
Anywhere now. Pope is coming from somewhere.
Yes, in his
he
village
has a
now.
tribe, but he should allow us in this hour. So let our men impregnate our women. So in Pope's village, let it, with all due respect, let Pope allow us to breathe. Okay,
so the last story for today is from Algeria. Omar bin Omaran, an Algerian man who disappeared at age 17 in 1988, has been found alive 26 years later in his neighbor's house in Jafia, Algeria. Omar was discovered in a hole within a dog. So the story said that with the dog for one day and leave. In a 3 years time to come, the dog will still recognize you because of your smell. And the dog knew where he was. So every time the dog would go there to lie, and it's obvious that there's every tendency they would have got to find out, like, why is this dog always going to this place? So they had to poison the dog. And then he came out alive, very healthy. What was the motive? What was the intention? 17 years.
Arrest the individuals involved.
That has been done.
That has been done. So we have to find out, police has to find out their motive. I can't understand it, why someone could be kidnapped for rituals. So now, you see, this one is a strange kidnap. You are even spending money feeding the person, making sure he's healthy.
Very healthy.
So they need to find out, was he used as a sex slave? These are other part of it.
I think I should put the picture again so that you take a look.
No, I saw it.
Okay.
Like, we are just preempting now.
Okay.
Police is not done with their investigation. Could it be that this guy was used as a sex slave? Was there a woman or man? Now that we talk about same-sex thing.
Okay.
Maybe he was attracted to a certain man who now said, I won't let this one. I'm just thinking. Because ransom was not demanded. He was not also used for ritual, probably exported to Nigeria for rituals, you know, or African country.
Just a neighboring, just two
Algeria
compounds.
now, you know, it's okay. It's Algeria, I don't know. So now, what we're saying is that police should do their work. Let's find out what this man, the original intention of keeping him hostage for this long.
And feeding him.
And feeding him. What is the motive? Well, I have just thought of it. Could it be that they were using him as a sex slave? Could it be that he was running errands? Or probably they want to cover a niche for themselves, the first human pet. You know, maybe they wanted his beards to grow longer or what, and then he will now be sent to a zoo. We don't know what the plan is.
If it was errand, there's every tendency they would